We've never done anything like this in Esra, in the history of Esra. We've done everything that we can do from our side to make it really professional. I think it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful day, and it's going to showcase Esra in everything we do in the community.
How do I feel with 48 hours to go when we've been planning this project for 15 months? I'm a little nervous because although we've got everything in place and we were beautifully organised and everything was set up, we then looked at the weather forecast 2 days ago and oh no, it's thundery showers on Tuesday.
I have to stand still. I really don't know what to feel. I mean, I think 30 years have gone by, it seems like yesterday. And it took its form and everybody's part of it, you know. That's what I feel, is that every single one gave something in his own way. And that's what's built this amazing phenomenon. And it obviously was important at that moment when it happened. It meant something in the English. We created an English-speaking community, which wasn't there before. There were South Africans and there were British and there were Americans, but there wasn't an English-speaking organization. And I think it had meaning in people's lives suddenly, and it gives them a good feeling that English speakers are active, are doing something, and that they're part of it. It's them.
The exciting thing about today is I see around a new generation of volunteers. And if that's going to help Esra go on for another 30 years, I'm really excited.
We've probably run about 120 different projects in the last 10 years in response to the increased aliyah from the former Soviet Union and from Ethiopia. We immediately decided to turn our experience, having worked in various forms of education, welfare and employment in Israel, to operate projects tailor-made for their needs.
I think they have dealt fantastically with the weather, and the effort that has gone into this has just been incredible.
We've had to replan a lot of the content and put things in different rooms so that everything we're doing could be undercover.
We're delighted to introduce Israel's foremost photojournalist, David Rubinger, who's just written a book entitled Israel Through My Lens. And I'm going to put David Rubinger through my lens and ask him a few questions. You've covered all the events, I would say, probably in this country. Which have stood out mainly in your mind?
It so happens that my professional career nearly exactly coincides with the State of Israel. Therefore, I had occasion to cover nearly everything important at Israel. Maybe the peace process with Egypt was an outstanding assignment. It was ongoing for more than a year. I traveled with Begin back and forth between Jerusalem and Washington so often, and I saw all the developments and how this peace came about. And even though it's a cold peace, it's still much better a cold peace than a warm war, and I enjoyed it very much.
Your career, as I said before, spans 60 years. How did you get into the business, and what was your first assignment?
My first camera was because I met a girl in Paris who gave me a present of a little camera. It was the first camera I ever held, and I thought that's what I want to do in life. And with the help of my wife, whom I met also in Germany, survivor of the camp, who stood behind me at a time when I was offered a job for £27 a month, British pounds, in Palestine. It's a hell of a lot of money. And I said, no, I want to be a photographer. And I brought home about 7, sometimes 8 pounds a month. And my whole family called me a criminal because my wife was pregnant already. The one who stood behind me was Annie, my wife. When I came into the profession, there was, God knows how many magazines in the world. Hardly any exist any longer. There's no photojournalist today who will get an assignment to go something for some weeks and do a story like I used to get from Time and Life.
So you're not going to encourage any of your grandchildren to go into that particular business today?
Most definitely not.
I've been speaking about my life in Israel as a transplanted New Yorker and how it all changed when I got the opportunity to write a book about pomegranate recipes. Contrary to common belief, pomegranates have a lot more significance in our lives, not just for Rosh Hashanah. It's a great food. It has huge antioxidant qualities. There's a lot of research being done here in Israel about the health benefits regarding cancer and heart disease and hormone therapy replacements, so I'm a big fan. I think pomegranates are a miracle food, and we should all include pomegranates in our daily lives.
We're in outdoor training groups, and for English-speaking community in Renana and Kfar Saba areas are looking for something different for their training to keep healthy. So we've got a new system that we use for training, and that's why we've come here to show people our services. So come and give it a go, and everyone's welcome. Thank you very much.
I've given some lectures in Esra. I've met the people. They're warm, they're friendly, very welcoming. I think that this sense of community, especially having moved here myself over 20 years ago to a new country, it's really nice thing to have.
It's all been arranged beautifully, and the information has been incredible, and I'm really enjoying myself.
The picture is a tremendous weapon when it comes down to it, because of the impact it has on human feelings and human emotions.
Everyone is doing stories 1 year to the Lebanon War.
I think it shows the character and the warmth of Esra members who come out in the rain and who come out no matter what the weather, not only to support Esra, but to enjoy a day of being together, a day of hearing about things, seeing things, enjoying music and speakers and entertainment. And this is Esra, and it's incredible.
Tell us about your work, Esti.
Well, I call it fusion art, for lack of another word, but it's kind of like I'm using modern-day tools and traditional painting methods to create art. My theme these days is called reconstructed spaces, because I'm trying to convey how light moves around a space. And when you're standing, for instance, we're standing here, we're just standing here, but if we stand here for a few minutes, oh, and there you go, it's a perfect example. The lights just went out.
How opportune.
These are pictures taken by members of the photography group, which meets once a month or so under Esra auspices.
What do we need to come along to the group? Just a good camera?
You should be interested in photography and wanting to learn, because we discuss sometimes in great detail techniques. We discuss our own pictures, generally try and improve our abilities.
I heard two very nice lectures, one by David Rubinger, which I thought was excellent, the other by David Landau. It's been a David morning so far.